For understanding the working of the computer system, we are going to use LMC software in this module. You can download the LMC, and the first step you perform is to extract the files from a zipped folder and run the setup file, which allows you to use this software to implement the assembly level programming. So let us do that. You right click and you can use 7-zip or extract all. These files will be open. We double click on the setup and it asks me if I need to reinstall it. I have already installed it, but you can continue with the installation. Once this is there, you will be having this on your screen. Once the software is installed, it will open automatically for your use. Later, LMC can be accessed as and when needed from the desktop or the start menu. Now the installation procedure ends and we proceed with the introduction to the LMC IDE, Little Man's Computer Integrated Development Environment. We must take care of the few things while using this software. The very first and foremost is, until the input is not given in the left submission panel here, the program will not be able to save your work. Therefore, it is the first step to start using the software. So if you find here nothing, you can enter your ID. I will start entering mine. Without the input in this box, there is no scope you can save any work or do anything. Once the student ID information is provided, you can select the File menu and choose to create a new file using the New, open an existing file using the Open, save your work using the Save. To save a new file, we should be using the Save As, and we can exit the software using the Exit. So let me demonstrate few. So it is asking me that, do I want to save this? I say, let it be lost. Now everything is new here. If I want, I can open the existing file. I can save this, or I should save this as. So if I want to save this, I can save it somewhere I want. I'm just writing this program and it gets saved here. Further, if you want to end or then keep saving, it is what you use for a menu. Now, you may like to explore other menus such as Edit, Run, About, or anything else. This software identifies the plagiarism. So you are advised not to share your programs with your friends, especially the assignment component. It cannot be switched off, and it can be seen at the bottom if you try. The plagiarism checking cannot be switched off. So not worth trying to close the plagiarism. Before I introduce LMC components to you, let us revise the architecture of Little Man's Computer. As shown in the figure, the central control unit interacts with an in basket or out basket, which we call it IO interface, the calculator, which we call it ALU, the program counter, and the memory to perform our desired operation. Let us have a look where these components are in LMC. Yes, we can see that these components are present in the left panel of our LMC IDE. That is in basket, out basket, calculator, and the program counter. Thus, we have done one-to-one mapping of LMC architecture with LMC software. Now we look at the program code section. where we write the assembly language code to perform the desired operation. This panel has 3 columns. The first one is the sequence number of instructions. The second one is the memory address occupied. And the third one is the code section. We can edit only the code section where we write the assembly program. All the output, errors, notifications are notified to us in the output panel at the bottom of the code section, which is here in this box. Now let us have a look at the menu options of LMC. There are total 6 menus on top section of the code. The source section visualizes the editing activities happening in the code. The interpreter section is soon activated when we run the program. It has total 5 columns. The mailbox, the symbol address, the mnemonic, the code, and the comment. Let us try to run. If our program needs user input, we can also see the dialog box asking us to enter the input here. We edit the content here, which is by default 0, but we can change it to anything we want to give as an input. Once we click on the Send to LMC button and proceed for the execution stops at hold statement. That is what we can see here, which is highlighted. The output of the program gets reflected in the bottom output section, LMC out box, which is 5. The next menu is test suite. Here there are 2 columns, expected input and expected output. We are supposed to enter both the values. If the specific input is given to the program and it provides the expected output, the test suite passes. Otherwise, it fails. For example, if we want to have the input in, because our program has just 3 statements, that is, it is taking the input, whatever the input is taken is giving it as output, and the program execution stops. So therefore, if we want to have a test suite where we are giving the input as 10, we can edit it here. And the expected output must be 10. Now this test case will pass. But if we give the input value as 20 and the expected output is not 20 or something else, maybe 30, then this test case may fail. We can test the test suite by clicking on the Run on the test suite, which lies here at the top right corner, and the entire test suite with all the input is tested. No sooner we give this test suite run command, we obtain the statistics in the output panel. There are 7 columns generated for each input and output. The first one is the test number. The second one is expected input. The third one is expected output. The fourth one is actual input. The fifth one is actual output. And finally, the number of instructions executed and letting us know whether the test suite passed or failed. We can observe that our first test case has passed, but our second test case has failed. The last line indicates what percentage of test has passed. In this case, it is 50% of the test passed. This test identifies if the program runs as per the coder's expectation or not. If not, either the test suite is incorrect or the program is incorrect. In our case, the test suite is incorrect. We can correct it here and then rerun the test suite to get the full 100% success. Now we can see both the test cases have passed and the result is 100% matching with our test case. The next menu is History, which provides information about the execution attempts by the set of users on the computer. Followed by this is the Preferences menu, which allows the user to set the execution delay, select the input options, auto or manual, and update the interpreter grid. The final menu is the Hint, which is the most useful menu for the initial newbies as an assembly level programmers. It benefits the coders because it lists the mnemonics and their functionality. Now we proceed to the control panel, and that has options for executing the program written in the code section. With Run All, we can execute the entire program in one go, like this. Give input, and the output comes out. If my program has any error, for example, here there is an error, it also indicates when I click on the Run All. It indicates error stating that unhandled exception has occurred in the application. If you click Continue, because there is an error, unrecognized mnemonic. I correct the program and then I run again to check if everything is fine. And it works fine. Now that was all running together, all together. But if I want to execute step by step, indicating what modifications are happening in the interpreter column every time I write something, I would like to go for Run Single. I would like to write a few comments after the command. We can write the comments with this sign stating that taking input. Keeping with the execution. Stop. Now I'll go line by line. Run single. You can use run single for every single line. You may want to save it as a separate file or save as it is. And then you can run single to do the needful. If we want to test the program for a wide range of inputs, we can use the test suite and start running it. If we want to test the program for debugging options, just to test if it is error-free, we use the debug. We use reset to reset the interpreter content. The interpreter reset. We can clear the log information of the source with a clear source log, which clears the output window, and we can also clear the interpreter log as well. Thus, we have tried most of the options here. And with this, we have introduced the LMC software. Now we are all set to start coding our desired programs with our little man's computer. Thank you.